Hello, everybody. Happy weekend. I would love to do a little update really quick while people start joining. I'm going to wait for my co-host to join. Hi. Thanks for joining. So, a quick little update. I am still in Los Angeles. I have been here now for a little over a week, having a great time. Hi, everybody. I've been surfing and getting to catch up with my friends here in town and a lot of my colleagues. And here's my co-host, so I'm going to... All right, let's see if that worked. Hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining me.
Of course.
So I thought I would just update everybody just a little bit while we wait for people to join.
Yeah, definitely go for it.
Okay, so I'm in Los Angeles. It's beautiful here. You know, I love being here. I love this city. It's just so vibrant. And I have to say, I'm totally addicted to the beach. I pretty much go every single day. It's my prerogative. I've been surfing. I've come to a realization that I'll never be a pro surfer, unfortunately. But I just love to be out on the water. I just like to paddle out. And I've just really created like a little family, surf family, at my favorite surf spot. It's something that you can show up by yourself and there's all your homies. And surf culture is just so fun. I really enjoy it. But I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow. I'm going to Big Sur tomorrow. So I'm going to Esalen. I'm going to spend a few days there and just get super zen. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. They have a hot springs on the ocean. So sounds pretty unbelievable. And I don't know if any of you have been to Big Sur, but it's absolutely gorgeous. One of the most gorgeous places I've ever been to. Have you ever been there, Maeve?
Yeah, I have. Me and my family took a road trip up Big Sur one year, so it's gorgeous. I mean, completely unmatched.
I need to check to see if the road is, I don't know, I guess it got washed out or something. So I need to see if it's in working condition. I haven't even looked into it. So I kind of need to figure that out. But it's going to be hard to say goodbye to California, but I really believe that I'll be back here soon. I've been speaking with my gallery, BG Gallery, about doing some of the other shows with my work and really up-leveling how I'm presented and how I'm presenting myself at the shows. So I'm looking forward to that. It's kind of hard being away from home. It's been about 3 weeks now. I am lucky to be comfortable. And the gallery I work with got me a nice little spot in the valley. It's been like 110 degrees here. Where are you located right now?
Right now I'm down in San Diego, but I've been up in Redlands, so it's been about like the Inland Empire, about the same conditions. Really hot. So came down here to get out of the heat for a little bit.
Yeah, I saw when you logged onto my Facebook, it said San Diego. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. She's having a summer. I love San Diego too. It's so pretty down there. Okay, so do you think we should get started? Looks like a lot of people have joined. Thank you everyone for joining. I so appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions at all, you're welcome to leave a comment there. We will get to a question section, but I'm going to let Maeve, my assistant, take over.
Yeah, so we can jump right in. If you haven't been to one of these live streams before, we're going to start off talking about some of the blog topics that we're discussing this week in the blog. If you haven't read the blog, it is on Teresa's website. It's linked there, so definitely check it out. I'm going to just be prompting her with some questions, and then we're going to move into a Q&A. So if you have any questions as we're going along, feel free to throw them in. Um, so unless you have anything else to add, I can kind of just jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Nate, thanks for joining.
Awesome. So this week we're going to be talking a little bit about your business and being a small business owner as a woman. The first question I have for you is what first inspired you to start Alien Mermaid Cove?
So I have been a photographer for over 20 years, and I have styled probably about 98% of my photo shoots. I didn't even know what a stylist was. I didn't even know that was a thing growing up in Utah. I just always was drawn to fashion, drawn to creatively expressing myself with the way that I dressed. And I really made a signature style for my photography with my styling. And when I got to LA, I spent a lot of time thinking and being and enjoying styling. And when I got to Portland, I ended up having to live in a house with a few other roommates. And I didn't have really work area to make my art, so I started collecting clothes. Hoarding does run in my family, so I was sourcing a lot of clothing, whether it was on Facebook or Nextdoor or Craigslist or free piles or estate sales. I was basically every single day after work going to source and curate clothing, not just clothing, but also home goods. And over time, it started to fill up my house, and my roommate was like, "This is ridiculous." So I realized it was just another creative extension of my work. And since I wasn't able to make art, I just started doing this other side passion. And when I got into my photography space, I was able to expand even more with more collection and with, a bigger collection. And then when COVID hit, it was really hard for me to work in my photography studio. And so I just started plugging away with getting my whole collection organized, and I ended up deciding to do a runway show and a pop-up shop. So that really was an exciting moment for me because I had been talking to my friends for a while about how I wanted to have a shop. And I think, it was a pipe dream at the time, but, a year later, standing in my shop, it became a reality, and it was just really, really exciting. And I thought it would be a great way to keep continuing my mission as an artist to also help support other artists. I think you're going to ask me about the mission statement, so I won't hop into it yet, but
Yeah, that's kind of my next question. How did your Altered States brand begin, and what is the overall mission of the brand?
Okay, great. So before I hop into that one, I will talk about the Alien Mermaid Cove mission. So Alien Mermaid Cove, a portion of the proceeds from the shop go to support marginalized individuals to take art classes. So it's been a lifelong mission for me to help support artists. And I found that this would be a fun way to do so. So Altered States is our in-house brand. It's all designed and head by me. And I started just basically taking clothes that weren't suitable to sell in the shop, stuff that would go to a landfill. They either had a hole or a rip or a stain, and I would upcycle them. I would acid wash them, screen print them, crop them, embroider them, and elevate them into our brand Altered States. And a portion of the proceeds of that brand, which is our number one seller in the shop, go to women artist grants. This has been a lifelong passion for me to help support women in the arts because they are so underrepresented. And I thought I would empower myself and the community by donating a portion of our proceeds to help women artists. And the retail space that we will be getting on Hawthorne. That's my wishful thinking statement. We will have art shows of the women who received the grants in the shop, so people can come and celebrate and see the work that the women are creating. And my goal is really to create women who are working on long, big, important bodies of work. So being in the art field for over 20 years, I'm realizing that a lot of those grants go to the men, and they go to men, and they go to really kind of commercial and boring projects. And I want to create I want to support creative, innovative work, stuff that's pushing boundaries. And so I really wanted to take the power into our hands and help support women artists.
Awesome. In what ways has it been beneficial for you to run your own business?
Well, I have realized over my career that I am a leader, and that's a part of my passion. And I love to bring people together and community together. um, I also deal with, just to be a little vulnerable here, I do deal with a disease. It's called ankylosing spondylitis. It affects my hands, my back. And over the last 20 plus years, I've had a really hard time doing regular things that most people do in their day to day job, which is being on a computer, standing, sitting. It's an emotional topic for me to talk about because sometimes I feel kind of embarrassed by my limitations. However, I've had to really pivot and learn how to work on my own and have a workflow that supports my body. And so just over time, I've just been working on creating my own businesses so I can really help support my body and also still fulfill my mission, my life's purpose.
And what obstacles do women face when it comes to obtaining financial support for their businesses?
So I've come up with so many roadblocks with trying to get funding and help with my business. I have worked with SCORE and SBA, and a lot of the mentors are like, there are no grants for women in business. And I'm just like, how is this possible? And, I'm a single female woman, and, that the banks aren't excited about that. Let's be honest. And it's been really tough. And I could have given up several times in this whole process and been like, well, it's not possible. And I have had those moments where I've spiraled and been like, how am I going to come up with the funding for my large dreams? And I have decided just to stay true to the course and just put in step by step every day, just doing something to help make my business a reality. But just the lack of funding and help and support has been really, it's a good thing I don't take no for an answer very easily, because I am not going to give up until this happens. It may not be on the time frame that I'd like it to be, but we do have some things that we're working on to hopefully make our dreams come to fruition.
For a family and a successful career, and what have been your personal experiences with this?
Do you mind just repeating that? I don't know if we were getting great Wi-Fi connection when you said that.
Yeah, sorry, I've been cutting in
No
and out.
problem.
Do female small business owners often have to choose between their desire for a family and a successful career? And what have been your personal experiences with this?
Yeah, unfortunately, as an artist and a small business owner, you're working really hard, and sometimes you have to um, use up that space to work on your business and work on your art. And unfortunately, there's just not a lot of maternity leaves for just freelance artists, let's be honest. And also, being single and being really driven and ambitious with my work, that doesn't always allow for those things to happen. And I have been really focused on my career, and I think a lot of women are. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to choose between the two. I do like to believe there are women out there that know how to balance those things and can be great expanders on how to live your life that way. And I'm excited about learning more about how to create that in my own life. Um, but I have made so many sacrifices for my work and for my business and to be successful. And as people say, when you own your own business, you're not never working, So, but I think um, since I have owned several businesses and I've been doing this, I'm starting to realize that balance is key, and setting up support around you is key. And you just have to have faith that when you take care of yourself, that your business will be taken care of. Whatever you believe in, whether you believe in God or source or something like that, that energy is there helping to help take care of you. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, your business it won't be doing well either. It really is kind of a reflection of what's going on with you. So, and I am hoping to eventually have a family. And when I say eventually, I mean hopefully soon. And I'm hoping that that will be something that I will be supported in with my business. And it's something that I realize that as a small business owner, I'm going to have to set up that support myself. But I think it's very doable. So,
How has COVID impacted female small business owners?
So I believe that it has affected a lot of people, and obviously not just women. I mean, just walking down Alberta Street, which is where the pop-up shop has been located and my photography studio is located, 40 to 50% of the businesses have gone out of business. And honestly, that was really rough for me to see. It was rough for me to walk down the street and have high dreams and big dreams of owning a shop on that street, when seeing that businesses were already going under, ones that were already developed and doing well. So, and for me personally, I really, really struggled. It was one of the darkest times of my life. And I mean, just obviously for so many layers and complexities to what happened, but just being able to, I lost my work when COVID hit, and it was really hard to pivot to know really how to get through that. And I think naturally I just used my work to dive into my work to help, deal with all the stress and the sadness of what was happening. And, month after month, I kept having to pivot and pivot and pivot because I kept losing my jobs that I kept picking up. And there were 4 times that I had a hard time paying rent. Unfortunately, as an artist and a freelancer, we're the ones that slip between the cracks. So I didn't get unemployment. I didn't get a stimulus check. I tried to get the PPP loan, but I did launch my business in December 2019, my photography business. Since I moved from LA to Portland, I was reestablishing myself there. And so, when COVID hit, I was just barely opening up my doors. So I just took it so, so hard. Um, Fortunately, I have an amazing team that helped me get back on my feet. And I had the strong will to keep going. And I did all the work. I did the work of the shadow work. I dismantled a lot of stuff within myself. And I'm ready for a new shot. And here we are. And I just want to say to anyone out there who has struggled with mental health, with your business, being alone, I just want you to know you're not alone. And I'm so sorry that you went through that. And let's work together to try to get back on top. I know that we can do it. And, we're going to have to do that together as a community. And thank you for everyone who was there to help me. I mean, so many friends reached out to help me, even with rent. I had friends trying to buy my work and scheduling photo shoots, but it was a really, really tough time. But yay, we made it, we survived. And, I'm ready to give it another shot.
Yeah, and on that note, what changes need to be made to better support female small business owners and give them equal opportunities to success?
Whew, that one really hits home, because that's something I feel like that I'm really working for right now, is to have that equal playing ground. And the truth is women, they just don't. Um, and if you're a man and you don't understand that, I just want you to just be open-minded and to reach out and to get more information, to learn how you can be more of service to women in the world. It's not just with the arts. It's not just with small business. It's for every business. It's for every little thing. Women have it that much harder. And we really need small business grants, loans. We need maternity leave for women who are in small business, who are in art. And there's so many things that you can do between like liking and commenting and sharing and reading the blog and sharing our YouTube, and just free things that you can do. You can tell your friends, you can work with the women business owners for all your needs that you may need. Like, I'm a photographer and I shoot maternity, family. I shoot anything and everything. And also, buy gift certificates. Think about your small businesses when you're buying your gifts, your Christmas presents, gift certificates. And spread the word in every possible way that you can. And I'm going to be honest, even just DMs of people saying, I love your work, it just goes a long way, because sometimes it's that day where you feel like no one cares and no one's buying your work. And why are you an artist? What's the point? Someone will send you a DM and be like, your work is awesome. And if there's even something that you feel drawn to do to help, you can even help donate. You can help, you can help support in so many ways. Donating, buying products. Personally, I have in my bio, in my Instagram, on all my Instagrams, there's a link tree where you can go to a Patreon and donate. You can follow our YouTube. You can go to Society 6 and buy some prints. You can buy a shirt. You can buy a shower curtain with my art on it, and they're so, so cool. So there's just so many ways you can help out. We are also getting ready to launch a fundraiser, which is probably also coming up in the questions here. And you can go and you can donate money to help with our cause. So I'll save a little bit of that for later.
Yeah, that's actually my next question. What is the next step supporters help you reach this goal?
Oh, shoot,
Oh,
I think you cut
did I
out.
cut out again? The Wi-Fi is so bad here. Okay, let's try it again. What is the next step for Alien Mermaid Cove, and how can your supporters help you reach this goal?
So our next step is to solidify a space, a retail space. We have put down a proposal. We put down a proposal. It's a really big ask. I am just, it's just me putting down a proposal for a retail space that does cost a lot of money. So, it is a long shot. I like to believe that there are people out there who want to support small businesses and especially artist-driven businesses. So I like to believe that miracles happen, but I put down a proposal for a space. If it's not this one, hopefully it'll be the next one. But in the meantime, we're raising $30,000, which is 6 months of our operating costs for Alien Mermaid Cove. We're doing it in small chunks because the big chunk that we need $130,000 of runway money to make it through the first 2 years. They say that most businesses don't make money till 2.5, 3 years. So when I found out that I was going to need $130,000, I spiraled, and my score mentor was like, I don't know where you're going to come up with that money. Good luck to you. And I just was like so sad because it felt like my dream was impossible. So I really had to step back and really think deep and hard if this really was my dream, and if so, how was I going to get there? And I decided that was just baby steps. But in the meantime, we decided to take the power into our own hands, and we weren't going to go to banks. We have tried to get the PPP loan, the EIDL loan. We keep just getting shut down. So we're saying, screw it. We're going right to the people who care about what we're doing. And we're doing a fundraiser. So we're going to have hats and photos and gift certificates to Alien Mermaid Cove. And we're really hoping that we can make our goal in 2 months to get the 6 months of funding so we can get our space and we can start working on our mission in an even larger and even more beautiful and exciting way. This space will allow us to create a whole community, not just with the retail space, but in the back part of the space. There will be a photography studio, so we'll be able to have rental studios to photographers, and then we'll have a space for our school called the Creative Development Institute. Our school is a mentorship program for photographers and stylists who don't want to go to regular schooling and want to learn straight from a photographer and stylist in the industry who have worked in the industry and can guide you in a very individualized, hands-on way. And we're just like so excited about it. And obviously to get to that point, there's a lot of steps, and those steps do need some funding. So that's what we're working on. I'm thinking we're going to launch tomorrow or Monday. So stay tuned for that. Of course, even just the smallest donation will go to help us. So I'm really just a call out for anyone who's interested in supporting this idea that you please share. Even if you can't donate, just share and tell your friends. Every little tiny thing really helps.
Awesome. Well, that was my last question for you. So I think we can move into the Q&A segment. If anyone has any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments now, and I'll be able to read them out to Teresa. But to start, I can start with some of the questions we got on Instagram beforehand. The first question we have for you is, what piece of art has stood out on your road trip?
Wow. So some of you have known that I have been on a 3-week road trip, and a part of that was coming to LA to be a part of the LA Art Show. Thank you for joining. The LA Art Show is basically all the best galleries in the whole world bring in their best artists to town, and it's all in one place. So you get to basically see all the amazing galleries in one place and see all the art from the best artists in the world. And it is so invigorating and inspiring. And one piece that really stood out to me was a Japanese artist, and her work was just so beautiful. She would piece very large prints. There were historic photographic process. I actually don't remember which process it was. I don't think, I think it was very sepia toned, and she probably had about 20 like 30 by 40-inch prints that she pieced all together to make one image, and it was all framed together. It was really, really beautiful. The reason why it spoke to me is because I also work in historic photographic processes, and I know how hard it is to not only make one print, but to make 20 prints and to make them that big. And then to see how she pieced them together just to make one piece. I was like, wow, this person's dedicated. And it was just a beautiful portrait. So that really stood out to me. Thank you for that question. That's a great question.
Yeah, I loved that one. The next question that we got on Instagram was, where is the Portland art scene right now? Specifically, what does the market look like?
So this is a tough question for me because when I moved to Portland, I was really super excited about the potential of the art scene there. But the first time I went to like a First Friday, I think it's called, I was like, huh? Like, this is it? I should have done a little more research before I moved here. It's highly discouraging and disappointing, I think, the art scene there. But you know, I also came from Los Angeles, which literally has one of the most vibrant art scenes in the world, according to me. So, and also, you know, art is my lifelong passion and pursuit. So, you know, I'm obviously going to be a little more critical than like just your average person who's just trying to go look at art. So I find it to be very lackadaisical there, the art scene. It's very crafty. It's all very, it definitely has its own signature, which is very flora and animals and deer and mushrooms, which is all super, super cool. But if you don't necessarily fit into that category as an artist, you might find a little bit of a hard time there. The craft, you know, put a bird on it, like the Portlandia skit is very, it's very telling of what the art scene is like there. So I'd like to think that I'm there for a reason, to help really kind of expand those thoughts and those ideas of the art scene there and offer another take, another venue, another place for artists to really grow into very strong visual artists. It's a great question. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. If you're just joining us, we're doing a little Q&A, so feel free to throw some questions in the chat. I have another question that was sent in beforehand on Instagram. This one should be a little bit easier to answer, hopefully. Who is your favorite photographer and why?
All right, so I have two of my favorite photographers. One is Diane Arbus. She kind of takes my breath away a little bit just because of like the history and the life that she lived. But what I love about her work is she was doing it back in the day when she had to actually use a real camera with film and a medium format camera, and she lugged this thing around all of New York, and she photographed, to me, the most beautiful people. And when I say beautiful, I don't mean the beautiful like model types. I mean the people who are interesting, the people who have a story, who have something to say, the people in normal people's eyes who would be unbeautiful. And she went out and she photographed those people and gave them a voice. And you know, her work has like a dark side to it, just her life. And you know, she ended up committing suicide, which is really sad, but it can also inform how hard it was to be a photographer back in those days, and how hard it was to be a woman in that kind of profession. And just, you know, being an artist, we're those sensitive types, you know, and her work is just such a legacy. Uh, I also really love Sally Mann's work. I've always loved her work. It's so absolutely beautiful. She works with a large format camera and she uses, she has shot on film. And just that commitment alone to work with that kind of camera and to just like know that craft is just such a science. But then her artistic take, the way she photographed her children in the rivers where they grew up, and just the beauty and the innocence of her children, and studying like just I don't know, just when you drop into her work, it just you get to just like feel what it feels like to just like live off the grid with your family, and that it's just pure and beautiful, you know. I just really, really look up to her. And she's still working to this day. I just really love it when artists, who cares if their work's selling? Obviously, it's helpful and of course they care, but the people who are committed to their work, no matter what, no matter if they have money and they have the right equipment, they're just going out and they're working and they dedicate their whole lives to their craft. And that's why I really look up to her and her work. It's a great question.
Awesome. So I think we have time for one more question before we go, and I think this is a good one to wrap it up. In what ways can someone support small businesses in their community if they don't have enough money to buy their product?
Awesome. Great question. I would just like go to the openings, go to the shops, go say hi, make friends. One thing about what I love about having a place to be is that it brings people to me and I get to make friends. I get to make friends who care about art. Even if you don't have the money to support it, but you care about art, go to the art openings, go meet the artists, meet the people who are spending their time and energy to make these things happen. And tell your friends, there's Facebook and Instagram, and there's so many ways to share and to reach out. And maybe you just know that one person who can help. Like in regards to my business, if I just get my business plan to that one person, they may want to be an investor. They may want to be a partner. They may see that I make also this beautiful work and may want to buy prints for their restaurant. You never know who can help. And so if you feel drawn to tell somebody about something or to go to that place, do it. Go and help support the businesses. They really need it. And just commenting even just on a post and sharing it, and in that little right hand top corner you can like pin it, I think is what it is, or save it. That is like helping just with the algorithm. Small businesses have such a hard time in advertising and the algorithm right now on Instagram and Facebook, because it's really set up for people who are spending money to advertise. And if small businesses don't have a lot of marketing or advertising funds, those little things can really, really help take those posts a lot farther. And I know it seems so simple and easy, but leaving a comment saying, hey, you're doing a good job, or I love your work, or anything that helps with the algorithm. Do you have any ideas to add to that?
No, I think those all sounded great. That was all I had for you, so I don't know if you have any last comments you'd like to make.
Of course. You know me. I want to say thank you so much to Maeve, my assistant. She's here and she's been working so hard to help with the live stream and the blog. And she's getting ready to leave tomorrow. And I just want to be a big clap for her just doing such a good job and for helping just expand my business and for being there every step of the way with all my little eccentricities as a boss, and working with them. And I want to say thank you to my team who is just always working behind the scenes to help get us the content out there to you all. And to all you all fans and friends and longtime supporters, you guys are my heart. I couldn't do it without you. I so appreciate you being here and just caring about what I do. You guys rock so much. I love you all. Thanks again, Maeve. I hope you
Thank
guys
you.
have a great weekend, and I hope to see you all in my DMs. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.